Fellas, it is time for the ultimate ranking. That's right, we're gonna rank every single boss in all the Souls games to date, including Elden Ring. And I'm going to try to do it in under an hour, and I'm not sure if I can do it. But we're gonna try. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So here we have them. All of the bosses, including DLC and everything else. Hopefully this is a complete list, it seems to be. We have a lot to trek through. We can actually... we can do whatever tier as well. So S plus is the best of the best. F is, yeah, you know the ranking. So we're gonna start off with Old Monk from Demon Souls. One of those bosses that wasn't particularly hard normally, unless you were playing online. But in this case, it is a very fun and unique fight. So I'm gonna start by putting this guy into A. And remember, the ones furthest to the left is the best ones, and the ones furthest to the right are the less good ones. So keep that in mind. Adjudicator, also a very strange boss. You need to just hit him in the gut and he'll go down easily. Not particularly memorable, but not unforgettable. Not forgettable either. It's somewhat in between. So maybe a C, maybe a D. It's still a fun fight, I think. It's a decent fight. Somewhere around these parts. I'm gonna put him in low C for the time being. Old Hero. Another one of those unique bosses from Demon Souls, of course. The unique thing about this boss is that it is blind, so if you have the Thief's Ring, this becomes just a cakewalk, especially if you do magic. But we don't do magic, right? We don't do magic, no. Okay, I've decided the Old Hero goes into B for decent enough. Storm King though, oh! I don't know if this has changed since I did the first tier list on Demon Souls, but this will be perhaps sorta controversial. Bam! Mainly for the amount of atmosphere this fight provides, as well as being a gimmick fight, but a good gimmick fight. So that's why I think it deserves the S tier. Fight me, you know. Leechmonger, it can heal itself, it can be quite annoying. It can poison you from a distance and kill you from a distance as well. The design is fine. It's better than Adjudicator for sure. But not by a lot. Dirty Colossus is even worse in my case. I know I ranked it like 10th place on my worst list. But it has grown on me slightly, so I'm gonna rank it in D actually. It can be okay fight. Maiden Astraea. This is one of those fights. I'm not sure if this goes straight into S or S+. I think it goes into S+. It has that lasting effect on you that just... You will never forget this fight. Or fight. You will never forget this boss. Never. Penetrator. Strong ass. It's just a fun boss fight. Kinda challenging depending on when you fight him. But aside from that, one of the funnier fights in Demon Souls. Blue Dragon? Or first whatever, because I don't... What is that even the fight? No. Old King of Land, hell yeah. Yeah, it's an S+, what else do I gotta say? Is it better than Astraea though? I don't know. We'll see later. Vanguard Demon. Oh, this is the one that preceded the Asylum Demon from Dark Souls and Dark Souls 3. So that said, I'm still gonna put it in D. I don't think it's particularly good. You can't forget it, but alas. King of Land, that's more just of an experience. I don't even consider it a boss fight, to be honest. It's whatever. Same with Primeval Demon. It's just not a boss fight. So it's very strange that these are considered bosses in this ranking. Phalanx. I kinda like this. I'm going to go as far as to say it's a strong C. It's one of those fights that I always have fun with when playing Demon Souls, except if I'm playing a sorcerer or something. on NG +1 and I just firestorm it all or fireball it. Then it's very easy. Red Dragon, whatever. Tower Knight, oof. Come on. A strong B, or it can even go up to an A, but just because of how memorable that fight is. One of the funnier fights in the game as well. Armor Spider, it's a C as well. A lot of C bosses from Demon Souls apparently. Flame Lurker, it's a B. Controversially, I think the Flame Lurker is less interesting than the Tower Knight in terms of being a boss. The Tower Knight, while more gimmicky, had a lot more going on, so I think that saves it kinda from going further down. And Flame Lurker, while challenging and a fun fight, for me it doesn't quite reach that peak. I think it's a bit overhyped. Dragon God, straight into F. Our first F! Woo! It's... it's the worst boss in the game. Easily. It's just a chore to play, and while resetting every time you die, it can get tedious very fast. If you're colorblind like me, or semi-colorblind, I can see color, but not nuances of colors all the time, so it's very hard to see when he's actually angry and he's about to attack. I have to go on sound alone, so it's very hard. Fool's Idol is one of those fights in the game that's one of my favorites, just mainly because the design, the location, the music, it kinda scratches an itch for myself. So that's why it's going into B. It's better than Old Hero in my opinion. I don't know if it's better than Flame Lurker, probably not. Which boss do I have more fun with? That's the hard question, right? I think I'll have to leave it like this. And Man-Eater. I'm one of the few that I don't like this fight. It's challenging, yes. And the location, the atmosphere of the boss arena or the boss place is out of this freaking world. But as a fight, it's probably a C. So that is it. That's Demon Souls ranked. And so now we go into Dark Souls 1. Ornstein and Smo. Come on. I can't rank it higher than Astraea, mainly due to the feelings I felt when I faced Astraea and fought her. But Ornstein and Smo, I remember my first fight against them vividly, and that's just one of those diamonds these games have provided with. Pinwheel, better than folk give him credit for, I think, with a lot more health, like double his health, and another move, like some sort of another flame move. I feel like he could have been a really good boss. Perhaps like he teleports somewhere and rains fire on the battlefield in some way. But as it stands, I mean, he is just a D. If even, he may be even an E, but I like his design. Gravelord Nito, bit more fun. I don't really like his skeleton mechanic gimmick. That kinda drags it down a bit for me. But it's definitely more fun than Armor Spider. Is he more fun than Man-Eater though? I don't know. I think he'll land somewhere in C, like right here. Feel like that's where he belongs. Great Grey Wolf Sif, I mean, come on. I'm gonna put it into S, or her into S, sorry. Just because I don't feel like it's... Frick. Do I have to put him in S+, maybe? Yeah. I'm just... I gotta put her into S+ just because... I forgot how sad the fight is, how much story it holds, and the location is unmatched. So I gotta put him in S. Very nice. Four Kings though is one of those fights I don't really like, mainly because it kinda hits right into the spot of one of my fears, that being large freaking things moving in the darkness, especially if you can't see them very well. One of my genuine fears, to be honest. Four Kings though, I think it belongs into B. I think it belongs right about there somewhere. Demon Fire Sage is just it's the first E. Mainly because it's a repeat boss with like one new move or something. It's the third time, possibly, might be the second time, facing one of these demons. And at this point in the game I just feel like they could have left it out and the game would probably be a little bit better for it, so unnecessary. Centipede Demon, while I like the design, it's kind of cool. I do not like fighting like in the lava and you have to have the ring. It's very annoying. I do not like this fight. The whole Isolith is so bad. I will probably say that it's better than... It's a D. Bed of Chaos. I will die on this hill that it's so far the worst boss in any Souls game. Which is a shame, because the design is amazing. The arena is fine. The lore is amazing. It's just the execution and the run back is... It's crazy. It's crazy. See if the Scaleless, I will probably get shit on for this. But here is my hot take. Are you ready? I do not like Seath as a fight. Everything surrounding that boss I do not like. Perhaps the story a bit, but everything else, no. Stray Demon, that's the one you fight in the below the floor when you return, right? Or is it the opposite? Hold on, let me check.
1 minute 37 seconds later.
I have now checked and this one is the one under the floor. It's a repeat boss, just with like 2 new attacks. It has a lot of health, so if you return almost straight away it can be a chore to kill. And I think it offers nothing good that the first boss didn't have. I will probably put this into D. No, you know what? That's the one. That's the one. This is a tiny bit better, just for the memorability of it, right? I remember Dark Souls was the first game I completed. I played Demon's Souls first, but Dark Souls was the first game I completed. And I did it blind back in the day on my PS3. So I remember going into a room, this large guy just jumping down on me, panicking, thinking I have to kill this guy, before realizing after my 3rd death that you could just run away. So it's a fun memory to have. You know, fuck you, Seath. Bam. There we go. Crossbreed Priscilla, if you actually fight her. I like this fight. It's very simple, yes. Everything surrounding the fight and the character of Priscilla is something special, I feel like. Which is why it's going up into C probably. Might even... C is fine. Dark Sun Gwendolyn is one of those bosses that I feel is kind of boring. It's just a dodge factory. You have to play defensive and the one who wins is the one whose stamina lasts the longest. And if you can keep your cool, because that's important too. So this will be a really controversial take. Or will it? I'm thinking in my head where he should go. You know what? Maybe like that. Yeah. Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. I know it's being memed upon by this point. But I still think this is an S fight. And even better than Sif. I'm probably going to hold that opinion still at the end of the video, when I've ranked all the others. But this is mainly due to how memorable it is. You've fought all this way through the entire game, you've heard all the stories about him, how cool he was, how he single-handedly extended the Age of Fire, and you find this broken down husk with simple piano piece to whisk him away. Unforgettable is the word I'm looking for. Sanctuary Guardian, I think this belongs in B somewhere. I think it goes like here something. I kind of like the fight, but it's the first point where I felt like the boss was a bit too fast for this type of game. If they would have fixed the yank, because now I'm talking about the PS3 version, when they did the Prepare to Die edition on Steam and you had the DS fixed, so you had 60 FPS, this boss was slightly easier in my opinion. So it gains a little bit. Plus if you play a shield build, I think it's easier. So now then. You know what? Knight Artorias. If there were one boss I could fight from each game, let's say, from Dark Souls, it would be Knight Artorias. It's just, it hasn't been beaten, the feeling when you fight him for the first time. He can do all these crazy moves, he's fast, he's nimble and he hits like a truck, but it's not too fast. He has the signs, he has the wind-ups of the attacks, and you can learn them and go hitless. So I feel like it's a fair fight, that you need a lot of skill, stamina and perseverance to beat. And if you look into the lore of Artorias, you'll get floored. So Dragon Calamite, one of the better fights of Dragon in the series, yet still I think it's a lackluster fight. I could skip it when I play these types of games, and now I'm probably gonna get shit at for placing Calamite where I'm about to place Calamite. Breathe. But it's a C. I know, that's what I feel like. The surroundings of the fight with Hawkeye Goff and he like firing down the huge dragon and you can finally face it, Mano e Drago, is legendary. It's so freaking cool and badass, but still the fight itself, I don't really like fighting dragons, so I'll blame it on that. Manus is an S fight, probably like here. It's not an S plus, it doesn't reach those highs, but it's a scary design. Manus is a hugely important character in the first game, so you can't deny that, especially in regards to the Abyss and dark sorceries and the fate of Ulasil, etc, etc. Taurus Demon, it's okay, it's probably a D somewhere. It teaches you a lot about the game, to be honest, so I think it will go up a bit. Yeah, probably around here. You know what? A strong D. Judicator. I put it into C. Should I put it down a bit? It's probably a C. A D, I meant, sorry. Bell Gargoyles is a very fun fight. Even if you play the games again, it's one of those fights that can be challenging still. But I feel like just having the arena on the roof, so you can still fall down, you have to manage your position so well. You have to kind of, especially when the other gargoyle comes down, you have to really think about where you're going, what you're doing. So I think that lends a lot to the longevity of it. I will put it into A and probably before Old Monk. That's how much I like the fight. Moonlight Butterfly, it's very forgettable. It has like 2 attacks, so I think that will go into E. Even though I like the design, that's pretty much it. Capra Demon. This, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I probably changed my mind from when I ranked Dark Souls bosses, but I'm sorry. But it doesn't deserve anything else. This is one of those fights that is unfair. It is unfair the first like 5-10 seconds. Yes, it is an ambush, but they could have given you some more space at the beginning. They could have placed the enemies a bit further back so you could actually come into the arena and react to it. Just a tiny bit. If you're really unlucky, you can just get stuck and die. And if you're lucky, you don't. Or if you're very skilled, you don't die. But I feel like in general for every player, it's not a good fight. Gaping Dragon though, it's a solid fight. It's probably around there somewhere. I feel like even though it doesn't have that many moves, the mere fear induced from the design is breathtaking. It's a very unique design as well. I feel also that the channeler, if you don't kill the channeler beforehand, that adds another layer of difficulty to the fight. Try to not do that. Okay, and see how it goes. It's a badass. Chaos Witch K-Lag, another A. I feel like that's one of those fights that you can't forget for a good reason. And I know you probably mean, oh, it's because the design, titties. No, it's just because it's a fun fight. Although I will say that the hitbox on the lava can be annoying at times. This is one of those large obstacles you have to overcome in the first game. Ceaseless Discharge is not a good fight in any way. No matter if you go for the easy route or the genuine fight route. They could have... they shouldn't have skipped it though. It serves its purpose story or lore wise, but as a fight it's just bad. That's where it belongs. Iron Golem. It might surprise you to hear, but I actually like this. Probably goes into B. That was Dark Souls 1, now it's Dark Souls 2. One of my most replayed games actually, if you can manage to believe that, but it's true. The Rotten is very rotten as a fight. I haven't been taking drugs, I promise you. But the Rotten is kind of bad. It's probably better. I'm thinking to myself a bit. That feels good. Executioners. You know what? I like this. It's one of those bosses from the second game that I enjoy revisiting. I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the design and uniqueness of the fight. The gimmick, if you want to say that. So that's why it's going into high B, I think. Question is, does it go here? No, it's better. Right about there. Skeleton Lords. Well. I don't really like it. I think it's a wasted opportunity. Instead of having small skeleton, yeah, they could have done that. If you killed one, it just dies. You killed another, it dies, and then there comes a lot of skeletons at the same time. With the last one gets a little bit of power up and becomes the Skeleton Lord. The Skeleton Lord. He like absorbs his brother's power so he can do all the moves, right? And yeah, gains like 2 or 3 henchmen that he summons. Bam. Good fight. But that's not the case in this reality, unfortunately. Yeah, sure. Covetous Demon. I mean, it's really bad. It is really, really bad. It's a golden third. Enough said. Mytha is one of those fights that I think is bad. Just because of the thought put behind the fight that she could heal herself while standing in the poison. So if you don't have high enough damage, you can't win, basically. And I never really liked that in bosses. I think you should always be able to win if you're good enough at the game. That said, I mean, it's probably a C. Is Steven a C though? Can throw her head. Yeah, it's a C, sure. Smelter Demon, it's a good one. That's actually an A. You know why? You know why? It's challenging. And this is one of the times I think that taking damage by being around it is fine. It actually makes sense to have this boss, especially in the second game. In the first game it wouldn't have made sense. In the first game you just had your Estus, so you could only heal with that and incantations. Are they called incantations in the first one? No matter. With spells. So in the second game you can have a lot of things that mitigate the damage you take from this boss. So it's a perfect fit. I love this fight, to be honest. Old Iron King. It's worse than Smelter Demon. I don't like the hole in the arena either. Probably is. Scorpioness Naika is even worse. One of the bosses I really do not like. I'm gonna be real, I like Pinwheel more. I'm serious, I like Pinwheel more. You know what, I fucking like this guy more. Yeah. Yeah. Fight me. See if we'll drag it down to E. Royal Wrath Authority is a big freaking failure. You know what, it's even worse than Dragon God. One of those fights that I just... Even though I'm drunk as frick, I can't understand. I can't wrap my head around the decision to make this boss. Or the mechanics behind it. Like, I can't understand it. Prowling Mages and Congregation is better though, but it's not good fight. Last Giant, it's decent, and that's what gets a D. I know, sometimes I make some good jokes. Actually, I kinda liked it. The Duke's Stair Freya. I don't really like this though. One of the things that Dark Souls 2 did better than most other games in the series was the NG plus, I think it's plus, or if it's +2 changes, where in some places, like for example in this place, when you go up towards Duke's Stair Freya, her location, she actually comes up on the cliff and starts attacking you, and you have to damage the boss Freya enough so she'll escape. And when you get to the boss room, she actually has half her HP if you manage to get there. So I really love those small changes, and they should have been in the rest of the games, but alas, it is like it is. Enough me blabbing on. It is worse than Armor Spider. Sounds good. Twin Dragon Riders is just a sad fight. Looking Glass Knight. Belongs in A. It's a spectacular, wondrous, atmospheric fight with amazing music and just the roaring rain, and it being able to summon other players as well. It's unbeatable in terms of that. Demon of Song is... I do not like it. It's very simple. The design is one of the things that stand out in a positive manner. That said, I feel like it's barely good. Let's see, we kinda need to zoom out a bit. Something like that, right? So, Velstadt, the Royal Aegis, belongs in B. The design and the lore and story about this guy is really cool, but it's barely there. I feel like I gotta switch these around, and I gotta switch that around. So, Vendrick, can it even be considered a fight? Almost. Don't get me wrong. The atmosphere in the place is ominous and feels almost somber and sad. But it's not a good fight. Guardian Dragon is the very same. It's not a good fight. At all. Like, at all. So we gotta put Guardian Dragon into D. A bit better than Scorpioness, but barely. Ancient Dragon can eat a dick. Actually, it's worse than Dragon God. You gotta do that too. Giant Lord. Kinda don't like this either. Maybe it gets C. Fits C. Dark Lurker. Oof. That's one of the better fights. I'm probably going to give it an S. Just barely an S. I'm kind of satisfied with that, but look at this. Bell Gargoyle, it goes up a bit. It is that good. Pursuer. In the original Dark Souls 2, I'm assuming this is Scholar of the First Sin edition, but in the OG game, you only fought one of them. It was just one Pursuer, and then it was a good fight. But in Scholar they put it everywhere, and it kinda took away a lot of the oomph it had. I would rather it pursues you through the game and scares you, or it can do 1 or 2 attacks and disappears, etc. So it actually pursues you, and you fight it at the end of the game, and it's a hard boss. That would have been better. As it stands, I think it's a C. Or is it even a B? Maybe it's a B, yeah. Old Hero, it's better than that. Yeah. Throne Watcher and Throne Defender. Kinda think they are like lackluster. Probably a D. You know what? It gets an E. It's even worse. I never liked fighting more than one, and in this case, they are just annoying. Nashandra is a bit better, like a C somewhere. Let me think quickly about where she'll land. Right after the Lord of the Dead. Just because the design and fight is fine. I just think they could have executed the lead up and stuff like that better. That's why I think Eldia Scholar of the First Sin is better. I kind of like this. I think it's an A fight. Nah, it's a B. It's a B. It's better than... somewhere around that part. Oh, shit, this list never ends. Let's see if we can... Okay. Gang Squad. That's what I'm gonna say, because that's the name of it. I don't know. I think it's a fun fight. It's not imaginative. It doesn't feel like a boss fight. It shouldn't have been a boss fight. At all. That said, I think it's fun. Something... yeah. Ilana. Oh boy, I can already hear you guys down in the comments. Oh, what the fuck you put Ilana into A? Yeah, I did. Not only is her design great, and the arena and everything leading up to fighting her is fantastic. Yeah, like you climb down and jump down this old pyramid of broken down architecture. You finally get to her, and it's a fantastic fight. Sin, the slumbering dragon. I'm gonna ask the dragon to hold this L. I don't have any L ranking. But this will probably piss you the frick off. I'm just gonna absorb my fate beforehand. Yep. It's a decent fight, that's it. I don't like how it flies around. And I think it's more annoying most of the time. So Smelt the Demon rematch. You know what? I do not care about this fight. It's so unimportant in all the ways. It shouldn't even have been included. I'm tough. Hold on, I'm gonna get something to drink. And I'm back. I've filled up my cup with some Monster because holy shit, I need energy. And I can already see my estimation of hitting below 1 hour is gonna so crash and burn. Unite. It's an ass fight, but that's it. That's it. I'm sorry. It's a really good fight, but I don't think it beats out Storm King. I know it's very controversial to think this, and I doubt there are many that thinks like this, man. Yeah, that's what I believe. Sir Alon is actually better than the Fume Knight. I know, despite the hitboxes, I know they are ridiculous at times, but I still like him more. Ava the King's Pet. It's like a C somewhere around here. I kind of like the design, and the fight is a lot of fun. Then they reused the fight, and I liked it better when they just had Ava. Yeah, that's probably right. Dragon Rider. Kinda uninspired, right? Especially since they reused the enemy a lot in the Scholar Edition, so it kinda lost the oomph. You can still do the cheese if you know how to do it. Gets a D at least. Yeah, that's a good place. Sudden's Island, the King's Pets. You know what? I don't care. Still, this is without considering the lead up to the fight. I meant there is no lead up. There is no area out there, you know. It doesn't exist. Still, I feel like these two are really bad bosses, especially when one of them has died and the other gets low on health. It suffers from that very same mechanic that Mytha does, in that it recovers HP, and if you don't slay it fast enough, also Leechmonger, but if you don't slay them fast enough, you can't slay them. So I don't like that in a boss. I do not like it. Burnt Ivory King is an S+, easily. The question is... Actually, I'd like to do something along these lines. The fight pretty much has it all. It's epic as brick. It has a cool arena. This guy is a badass, one of the few really good guys in these games. And it's a fair fight. The music as well, oh my god. Old Dragon Slayer though, reused pretty much to a T. So I feel like it's a decent boss, but I've fought him before. And it really drags down from the first game, it does. It kind of ruins the memory you have, like, oh, remember this fight? No, I don't care. You could have put, like, imagine instead of putting this guy here, you could have put a Royal Lion Lancer that sort of looked up to Ornstein instead. He was like so impressed by him, and yeah, something like that. But no. Then let's see, I think it's better than the Giant Lord for sure. For sure. For sure, for sure. Flexile Sentry. If they only could have made the mechanic work with the rising water, I would have liked it. But as it stands, I've never noticed the water going above a certain length that actually impacted my movement that much, or to a degree that impacted the fight to make it more difficult. No, never felt it. It's probably a C. Yeah, Belfry Gargoyles. I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's freaking terrible. One of the worst fights in any of these games. Rehashed without understanding what made the first fight great. Soulless is a good word for that fight. Rune Sentinels actually gets an A. Mainly for the difficulty, and I think they kind of executed the trio fight, the mob fight, well in this case, in this scenario, with a large area, and you can fight the first one mono and mono. I like it. Lost Sinner is decent. Probably gets a C or a B, maybe a B. Yeah, somewhere around this part. Royal Rat Vanguard isn't better than Royal Rat Authority, or it is, but barely. That's Dark Souls 2. Only like 500 games to go. So Bloodborne is one of those lists that I felt like I could actually say everything I wanted to say. So I will kind of blast through these as fast as I can. One Reborn, it's a D fight. Better than... God, somewhere around these parts. I kind of don't like it. You know what? That feels better. Ebrietas is always a struggle for me. That said, I can't deny that it's a B fight at least. Even though it's very frustrating at times. And it is definitely better than these guys. I'll probably drag this down. That feels better. Mikulash, hold on to your seats, ladies and gents, because I think this is an A fight. It's such a unique idea of the boss running away instead of fighting you head on. It becomes this maze-like chase that ends in a fight. He can be deadly if you're not careful as well. The only thing I don't really like is that if you actually die, it's very tedious to get back to the point. But still, I kinda like him enough to put him there. Murgo's Wet Nurse, it's like a B somewhere. I think I like it more probably around this part. Something along these lines. Amidala, it's a C though. I really like the design. Don't get me wrong, the design is immaculate of these guys. The fight itself and the fact that it's in the Nightmare Frontier makes it a lot worse. Martyr Logarius, that's an A fight. No, you know what, that's an S fight. It's such a good fight. It's hard, but mostly fair. It has some mechanics that you can learn and then take advantage of in the fight. But it's a deadly foe and you can't slip up or else you die. And die you do fast. Let's see, Fume Knight. Gehrman, the First Hunter, goes straight up into S. At least in my opinion. Is Knight of Taurus better? No, he isn't. But it's very close. It's a very close tie. Moon Presence is a B. It's actually... It's better than Ebrietas, yes. Kind of similar designs, these two as well. Yeah, sure. Ludwig the Holy Blade, I mean, come on. That's a masterclass in how you design a boss. A masterclass. From was like, sit the f down and learn. You better learn again. I just can't believe how they made this boss. It's probably one of the best creations. If you take a look at everything, right? Including the music and the lore of the guy, they portray it so well. I'll never forget that. Living Failures is like a D. The music is like... Lady Maria. Yeah, that feels right. One of those fights I'll never forget either. Both in terms of difficulty, design and music. The arena is one of my favorites in all of these games, so... Lawrence... I'll probably get hated for this. I'll probably get a lot of hate for this. Lawrence is is actually one of the few bosses that I usually skip if I can when I play Bloodborne. Because I hate this boss so much. And I know this is a hot take. Okay, I know this is a hot take. It can be a good fight, but for me it will never be. That's why it gets an E. I know I'm a rhyme god. So I just had to give it to you straight. Orphan of Cost though. I'm gonna be a bit controversial. It's worse than these three guys. Mainly due to the second phase. The first phase is fantastic, it's almost perfect. But the second phase, it feels too jitterish. I get the obvious that you're the one being hunted, but still, doesn't sit right to me. It's probably better than Sif by a bit. Is it though? Body coin. Is it S plus? I'm pondering. Let me rearrange. That feels good. Now I can't really zoom out more because you can barely see it as it is. So I'll stick to this and then I'll scroll. Blood-Starved Beast has grown on me during all of my playthroughs. It has become better and better. So I think it deserves like a B somewhere. The question is where? Is it better than Ebrietas? Doubtful. That's where it stays. Vicar Amelia, it's like a C. I think it's pretty decent, but not much more. The question is where I'll put her. Witch of Hamwick. This is so unfortunate. This is so unfortunate because this could have been such a good fight if they just fine-tuned some aspects of it. Just do something. We could have had a really good maze of like search and destroy almost. But you gotta search for them, and in the maze you could also find these horrible figures if you don't have zero insight. But they dropped the ball for sure. I like it more than Moonlight. Yep. Dark Beast Pearl, it's a fun B. A lot of B for Bloodborne. That's just a coincidence, trust me. It's better than Pursuer and Lost Sinner. Bloodstarved, yes, it's better than that. Four Kings, yes. Kinda like Dark Beast more. Yep. Shadow of Yharnam, decent fight. It's like a low B. Or even a C. When they go snake mode. It's better than Lost Sinner. Actually, the Pursuer is better than Lost Sinner. That feels better. Rom the Vacuum Spider. Yeah, I know. I'm putting the D. Strong D. I feel like this could easily have been a C if they just tuned the boss a little bit. I feel like it's kind of annoying with all the mobs running around. It feels more like a mob boss than anything else. And then if you're not careful enough, you can get one-shotted in the second phase, and that shit is annoying, especially with the teleporting away. No. Celestial Emissary has kicked my ass a few times during all of my playthroughs. I never... somehow I just die against this fight. I still feel like it's decent. Like it more than Nika and Guardian Dragon. That's it. Merciless Watchers. Whatever. Temerian Descendant. Whatever. Elder though is like... it's kind of fun. It can get a C. And Lord Lichmonger, yeah. It's more fun. Do like that, because that is worse than Armor Spider. There we go, much better. And the Giant doesn't care. Watch Dogs. I know this will be controversial, but I really hate this fight. I don't know what it is of me just disliking firefights, apparently, but this is one of the most egregious examples. Could have something to do with me fighting it in the Cursed Chalice, where you have half your HP, so you kind of get one shot all the time. Still. Kind of like this, yeah. Yana Temerian Queen, oh. Talking about controversial opinions. Don't unsubscribe. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. I love Yharnam. The fight, that is. Not only the design, and it's very memorable, but the arena and the fight itself is just... it's just something that I love with it. I can't really quite explain it. I know it's very hypocritical of me not being able to explain why I love the fight, but there's something that just clicks and meshes so well. So I can't put it lower than S, I'm sorry. Abhorrent Beast. I hated the fight when I played it in the Chalice dungeon, but I will say it can be better nowadays. I haven't played it in many years, so I won't say anything about it. That's where I leave it. Beast Possessed Soul is very bad. It's probably like... probably around there somewhere. Bloodletting Beast. Brainsucker. Forgotten Madman. A lot of these are just... they're very forgettable. Keeper of the Old Lodge. It's like a C. It's decent. We'll put it in... that feels kinda good. Lauren Dark Beast. What's the difference? Give me a sec. So it's just another version of Dark Beast Pearl. I won't give my thoughts on it. Silver Beast is another one of those that's just bad. Right? I was correct. Whatever. Man-Eater Boar. Whatever. So there was Bloodborne. Okay. So we're currently ranking Dark Souls 3. Old Demon King. Not a great fight, but not a bad fight either. It's somewhere in between, so we'll put it into C. It's better than all of these though. Sounds good. Pontiff Sullivan. You know, I know a lot of people love this fight, but I can't bring myself to love it. I just think it's very lackluster. I do not know why. Perhaps it's because I suck at parrying, but can be something else. It gets a B though. It's still a good fight. The question is where I should put it. Dark Beast Pearl. Oh boy. Oh, don't hate me, okay? I remember Aldrich is a D fight. The only thing that I like about this fight is it has some unique moveset. It has a unique moveset. That's what I was trying to say. Still, it doesn't save it from being very mid. I said what I said. You know what? It's actually a C. It's better than Giant Lord. Yeah. Yeah. Well, wait, it goes up a lot. The more I think about it, the more it goes up. What is this? What is going on? You know what? That's where it belongs. Yorm the Giant is hugely underrated in my opinion. And I know I'm gonna get shit for it, but this is an A fight for me. Not only for the story, and I know it's kind of a gimmicky fight, but if you fight it one-on-one, especially without the Storm Ruler, yeah, that's what it was called apparently, it can be a fantastic experience. A fight of stamina, mostly. But barely. Barely an A. Dancer of the Boreal Valley, you gotta get an S. The question is, how good is it? I just like... This is one of the highlights of the third game. But I still don't think it's better than Bell Gargoyles. Might be controversial, but Bell Gargoyles... That's a banger. Osiris, the Consumed King, is decent. You know what? It's probably a B. No, it's not. It's a C. It is better than Aldrich, though. And Vicar Amelia. Madonna. Nah. That's where it belongs. Champion Gundyr. I know. But if you remove the parrying aspect, if you don't parry him to death, it's actually one of the few fights that I feel is not very challenging per se, or it's not easy either, but it's a fun fight, first and foremost. Plus this Gundyr is a badass. Rest my case. It goes down to A. It goes down to A. Come on. That's where it goes. Dragon Slayer armor. I know. This is an A. Maybe. No, it's a B. It's a B. It's a B. Fool's Idol. There we go. Much better. Lothric younger. Yeah, it's just a younger prince. Okay, these are the princes then. I don't like the camera in this fight. It can really royally F you up. And that's what drags it down a lot. The mechanics though is... They are fine. And the difficulty is in tune with that. This is probably also an A. But it's better than Yorm and Mikolash and... I think it's better than Rune Sentinels as well. Somewhere around these parts. Ancient Viven, one of the worst bosses in the game. It gets an E. Mainly because Mainly because of the sure it is. So, Judex Gundyr, shockingly, I think this guy goes into B for the ability to kind of judge the player. He's the first real obstacle of the game, right? Judex actually means judge in Latin. So he actually judges you if you're deemed worthy of progressing. A fun fact. Plus I feel like the challenge is fair enough and it's a very memorable one at that, so it might be better than Lost Sinner. Kinda is, but that's where it stays. Nameless King is straight up one of the best fights in the game. Does it deserve S plus though? No. S maybe. S. It's great. It's great. Soul of Cinder is an S plus though. Easily. I think this in with Gale is two of the best fights in the entire game. And I'd even put this above Gwyn, I think. No. Hold the phone. That's where it belongs. Champion's Grave Tender Wolf. I mean, this is just a bad fight. This goes into F. That's where it belongs. Now it feels better. This is the Frida. I think it's a decent fight, but here's the part where you probably won't believe me, but it doesn't deserve higher than A, in my opinion, because it kind of lacks something to boost it up. Plus, three phase fights, I don't really think they belong if not done correctly. I think that the fight against the Demon Princess were much better executed than this fight. And I think why is because it felt more fair somewhat. That's what I'll base it on. But I still like it more than Lothric and Elana. But you know what? I think the Smelter Demon is worse. No. That's where I put it. Demon Prince, speaking of, wow. They executed it better. But the fight itself isn't really better. It's an A fight though. It might be somewhere around these parts. Or around these parts actually. I think Ruin Sentinels is better. I know, sue me! Not in terms of spectacle though. Half-Light. Very forgettable. I think it belongs into D actually. Maybe... Here it was. Here. Hi D. Dark Eater Medir is really good, but it still just gets an S. I have problems with the camera to this day with this fight, and I do not like it. But aside from that, everything is spectacular. It's the best dragon fight in the entire series. Except maybe Elden Ring, and you know what dragon I'm talking about, hopefully. That's where it's good. Slave Knight get. It's fucking sue me, man. Vort. It's a C. But it's probably around there somewhere. Do I like Old Iron King more? No. Just right below Aldrich. Curse Rotted Greatwood is one of the worst fights in the entire game. You can't convince me otherwise. It's an F. That's how little I like this. You know what? I like Capra Demon more. Crystal Sage is... It's like a low D or high E. Yeah, it can get a low D. Deacons of the Deep. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. I can't believe this. Okay, it gets a B. Deacons is one of those fights that with just a little push could have been unforgettable. They could have used the coffin more, they could have used the curse in a more efficient way. Something. They could have done something better. So, Abyss Watchers is a really fun fight. It gets like a high B or something. Could have even... Can even get an A, to be honest. Yeah, probably deserves an A. Demon Prince, yeah, it's better than that. Ruin Sentinels, yep. Lothric shouldn't be... That's where it belongs. High Lord Volnir. It's a B, I kinda like it. Question is... No, I don't like it more than Deacons. Shadows of Yarnum, no. Here we go. We can drag down the Lost Sinner one. True Corrupted Monk. Now we're in Sekiro territory. One of the most underrated games From Software has made. And True Corrupted Monk is no different. It's one of the best fights in the entire game, and that's why it gets an S. I know. No, it gets an A. I'm sorry, I changed my mind. But still. To be honest, yeah. It's really a good fight, and the surroundings, the atmosphere in this fight is... They really know what they were doing with Sekiro. Divine Dragon, gimmicky fight, but the spectacle is almost a match. That said, it probably goes into D. Yeah, sure. Owl Father. Let's see if there's Inner Father. And then we have also... Shinobi. Give me a sec. Okay, I've checked and now I know. Old Father is the one that you fight in Hirata Estate. It's a better version of the other fight, the one that's called Great Shinobi Owl. So it gets placed higher. I still think it's like a B. It's probably somewhere... Let's see, no, it can stay there. And then we have Demon of Hatred. It's kind of hard to rank this because I have a hate-love relationship with this fam. So I think it goes into B, but it's probably a low B. Yeah, I don't think it holds up as well as many other bosses. But I love the story behind it, so don't get me wrong. You shouldn't be there. That feels nice. Ishin the Sword Saint. Come on. It's just stacked here. It's stacked. And these are so very close to each other as well. So very close. Unforgettable. Emma the Gentle Blade. It's a solid... Is it a B or A? It's an A. It's better than Demon Prince and Ruin Sentinels, I think. Somewhere along these parts. Genichiro, Way of Tomoe. Inner Genichiro. Way of Tomoe. Let's see. Right. So this is the fam on top of the Ashina castle. After you beat him, wreck his ass, he becomes Way of Tomoe. The lightning bender, if you can say it like that. I think it's just this version. It's kinda mid. So I know, but still, it's better than this, yeah. Probably. God, Sekiro is so good. Sekiro is so freaking good. Let me see in a genre. Yeah, he can belong there. Inner Genichiro is probably the one you fight at the rooftop. And... right? My bad. This guy is the one you fight in the gauntlet. And I believe he's one of the better ones you can fight. That said, I haven't fought him, I think. I haven't fought this guy. So I can't really speak about him. Inner Father, I have fought this one. And I think it wasn't my save, it might have been someone else's, but I know I have fought this guy and it's one of the better fights in the game. It's probably an S. That's how good it is. I won't put it higher because I'm not 100% sure, but it's one of the better fights in the game. Inner Ishin, I gotta check that one. Okay, that's also one you fight in the gauntlet. So I can't speak about him. Gyoba Oniwa. I didn't really like this. I know all the memes. Gyoba. And he comes in on his horse like a maniac. It's a fun sight. It's probably better than the Divine Dragon though. Come on. Yeah, it can belong in a high D, maybe a C even. What the frick have I put you there for? Did I put Mytha too high? Shit, it goes up into C. To be honest, this guy is kind of good. Lady Butterfly, I really like this fight, and that's why I'm gonna be controversial when I say it gets an A. I know, or does it? Does it? Does it though? No, it gets a B. It gets a B. Sorry. Don't get angry yet. It's probably better than the Four Kings. This feels kind of right. Alright, Genichiro Ashina. I'm guessing this is the fam that you fight in the beginning. Or I'm assuming he is. It's, to be honest, it's whatever. Like, it's just a fight you're meant to lose. I haven't lost all times. I have actually beat him. But I couldn't care really that much. Falling screen, oh my god. That's where it belongs. I really like it. It's unique, it's very gimmicky. But its spin I kinda liked. I liked searching for the monkeys and finding their weakness and then beating them. And when you've learned all that and you play the game again, you can just rush them down, if you know how. Guardian Ape... It's kind of... It's okay. I wouldn't put it above Genichiro, for sure. Would not... It's kind of mid. This feels fine. Although you shouldn't be better than Aldrich. Yep. Corrupted Monk. Whatever. This shouldn't have been in the game. Sue me. It shouldn't have been in the game. And I know I'm jumping ahead a bit. Orin of the Water shouldn't have been in the game. Sekiro Ball shouldn't have been in the game. Or not as a boss. Neither should have been considered a boss, and Corrupted Monk shouldn't have been in the game. That's what I meant. Headless Ape is even worse. It's just continuation of the ape we have already, so I'm considering those to be the same. Okay, those are the same fight. 2 in 1. Great Shinobi Owl. It's worse than Inner Father, of course. And Owl Father is the one you fight in Hirata State, which is a really fun fight. But still, this isn't bad either. I still think it's worse than Lady Butterfly. Should probably switch this around. There we go. Ishin Ashina, this is the one you fight in the other ending. Still an S, to be honest. It's probably better than Inner Father. Yeah. That feels kinda nice. Ashina Elite times 2. Same long-armed centipede. Armored Warrior I will consider a boss, to be honest. It's very unique. Right? It's very unique. It's not really... It's a mini-boss, I think. Robert! Or is it Roberto? Yeah, something along those lines. It was a long time since I played the game, but I remember that when he falls down, he like scream, Robert! So, I kinda like it. I'll put it there. Shishiman Warrior, I don't consider these good enough or substantial enough to rank. Tokiru the Glutton, I will rank this man, and I still think it's a C. I think it's a challenging fight, especially if you go to Hirata Estate early. The memory, right? It's a decent fight. Kind of challenging. That's where it belongs. Miss Noble. Can it even be considered a boss? Like... I'll still put him there because I hate these fellas. Okami Leader Shitsu. What? Okay, so a lot of these are just mini bosses or something. But this one I will rank. No, I won't. But this is the one that's balling, literally. Shoots balls at you while you're in Fountainhead Palace. It's whatever. It's very... I can't really compare it to other bosses, to be honest. Same with this guy. Same with this guy. Shigekichi of the Red Guard can be considered a boss. Or a mini-boss at least. But it's kind of a copy of Yuzo. And... where is the fella? Tokiyuro, the Glutton. Yeah, similar. I would still put it into whatever. Great Serpent. It's not really a boss, right? Is it a boss though? No, it's not a boss, I'm sorry. It's just a huge obstacle you have to overcome. Great Colored Carp. Samurai General. Chained Ogre. Blazing Bull. That is considered a boss actually, and that's why I'm gonna rank it. I think I will put it into like an E. No, it's like an F. It's kind of bad. Kind of bad, yeah. 7 National Spears, they are enjoyable, but I don't consider them bosses, just mini bosses. Lone Shadow. Headless is frustratingly hard to learn the first time, but other than that, can be really fun to fight against. Now these MF enemy, I will never forget. I died like 1,000 times against this guy. At least that's how it felt like. Before I got through my brain that, oh wait, you can use Mikiri counter him. Oh wait, maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Oh wow. So Shinobi Hunter Enshin, I'll actually rank him probably just a mini boss, but still, and it's a C. It's a very hard teacher of the game. That's why I think it deserves a ranking. Yep. Use the drunkard, whatever. Alright. We have entered the Elden Ring territory. Just 1 hour and like 30 minutes into the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna remove all of the bosses that I feel don't really deserve to be bosses, or the bosses that I don't remember or haven't faced. Like this guy, for example, Mad Pumpkinhead. I remember when I fought him first and I was like, oh my god, this is a cool fight. And then they're just regular enemies. One of the few weaknesses of Elden Ring as a game. They reuse so many bosses and enemies in so many places, it gets tiring. That's why this goes into whatever. For example, he has champions, whatever. Otherwise, Dragonkin Soldier, technically they are bosses. We'll wait with that. Let's see, Royal Reveresco, Rune Bear, that's whatever. Alabaster Lord, whatever. Crystallian Duo. The Duo I'll put into whatever, but not Trio. I think there are. No, isn't there? Isn't there like a trio? I'll put it down then. Demi-Human Queen shouldn't be considered a boss, even though you don't really find these enemies on the upper grounds. Tibia Mariner. Or this is a boss, it's an E. Probably around here somewhere. Kind of forgettable if you think about it. We'll go one after the other and then we'll see where we wind up. Godskin Noble, is this the more robust one? It seems like it. Is there other Godskins? Godskin Apollo, yeah, the Noble is the one that has the... That's the one. And I think this is the one that you face at the end of the Volcano Manor, right? I think it's supposed to be that one, and that's actually a decent fight, if I'm being entirely honest. Just fighting that one is kind of fun, to be honest. It's challenging, and the area, it's one of the cooler locations to fight a boss in these games, bar none. So I think it will get actually like a high C. Not better than these, but better than the Amidala, yeah. And Dark Sun. God Devouring Serpent Rykard. Okay. Disclosure. Before I rank this guy, the spectacle, the graphics, the location you fight him in, and the design of the boss. Spectacular. They are like right up here. The boss fight though, very bad in my opinion. It's one of the fights I disliked the most, especially when it came to the bigger bosses or the more important bosses. I really didn't like this. So that's why I can't in good conscience put it higher like than B. And I know this will ruffle some feathers, but this is just my list, so fight me. That said, you know what? No. I don't think so, right? It gets dragged down. It gets a C. I'm sorry. This is just my opinion. Elder Dragon Greyall. Is that the one that breeds... No, it's Ikiskus. Ikiskus? That's not his name, right? Okay, I've looked up some stuff. Greyall is the huge ass dragon. Can be found in the rainy area, just north of God, what is it called? You know what area I mean. So I really don't consider him a foe. I know I beat him. I can't rank this guy. Decaying Ekiskus. that's wrongly spelled. I think it's called X6 or something. I didn't really like this. It was more annoying. If I'm being honest, it's like a D somewhere. If even, let's see. Yeah, he can be here. Starscourge Radan. Oh, I actually fought him pre-nerf first. So I think this is one of the better fights, just because it's so unique that you actually summon all these fighters to help you. And it's like a whole festival just to take him down. And the massive scale of the battlefield helps to kick it up a notch. I'm just pondering for a while. That's where it'll be. Strong S. Mimic Tear. You know what? I think it's uninspired. And I think it belongs into E. It was nothing special. I've fought clone fights, like for example in Ninja Gaiden. You can fight yourself at certain points, depending on what difficulty you're playing. And those are so much better than this fight, because you can really abuse this. And it's very easy to do. It's not a hard fight, and it's not particularly memorable either, so... That said, I still think it's better than Champion Grave Tender. No, I don't think it is. Regal Ancestor Spirits. Now there are two spirits, right? Ancestor, Regal Ancestor. So I won't rank this one, okay? I will rank the Regal Ancestor. And it's kind of decent. It's better than these guys. It's probably bad. But it's just annoying. It flies away all the time. Shoots magic at you and then kind of lunges. It feels very, very bare bones. They could have done something more with this guy. Valiant Gargoyles is so bad. It feels like... it feels like they took the gargoyles again. It's way better than the gargoyles from the second game. Way better. But I don't think it deserves more than a D. It's just annoying. And it feels very unfair. If you're really unlucky, they can do their... I think it's their poison move or something. They can spew poison. And if you're really unlucky and you haven't been positioning so well, you can't dodge it. You can't survive it. I don't think that's fair when designing a boss. That said, I still think it's like better than Decay. Dragonkin Soldier of Noxtella. Now this I consider... Where is the other Dragonkin Soldiers? Have I put them here? No, but there are others, right? Let's see. Necromancer Garrus. Nox Duo. These aren't bosses. Omen Killer. Neither it's this. No. So many are bosses in the game, but I don't consider them to be bosses, if you know what I mean. Mainly they are at the end of tunnels or caves or small places. And when they're just copies of each other, I can't really... Like this, Stray Mimic Tear, okay, yeah, sure. I've already ranked the Mimic Tear. Some of the decisions they did with this game, they are so dumb. Glintstone Dragon 2.5, no. Dragonkin Soldier, no. I hate fighting dragons in this game, man. That said, the Dragonkin Soldier, it's alright. It's probably better than these fellas. Yeah. That's where it ends up. Astel, Natural Born of the Void. Isn't there another one too? Astel, Stars of Darkness. Like, so admittedly, I had to check up on both Astel versions. And let me just say, this will probably also ruffle some feathers. So let's rank that first. It's a freaking F. I don't care. This is one of the worst bosses in the entire game, and I'm being completely serious when I say this. And I'm going to explain just this particular boss, the reason. It's probably better than these though. not by a lot. Why does this boss deserve an F? Well, Estel Stars of Darkness is one of the cooler designs a boss in this game has. Estel Natural Born of the Void. I'll rank this before I explain. This is actually a B fight. One of the more fun bosses in the game, in my opinion. I really liked the design, it felt really unique, and I was terrified of it. I'm serious. The design of this boss really triggered something within me. I'm talking about the skull for a head and these like fang things. It's just something that I really am afraid of. And I'll go even so far as to put it above. And I'll even put it above Pursuer. It's a really fun fight. But they reuse it once. They reuse it once. And that's in the Consecrated Snowfield. It is really cool cave with frozen stone and frozen locales. Now the problem with Stars of Darkness is that it breaks the uniqueness of the first boss. They didn't really need to have that. And B, it's really, really unfair, I feel like. The biggest enemy in this fight is wonky hitboxes and bad camera. Because suddenly, oh, the boss just disappears. Oh, now he comes and grabs you from a random ass angle. Oh, you got grabbed? Too bad, because it's a one-hit kill. Why? I still killed him on my playthrough. But holy fuck, Elden Ring. One of the worst bosses, and I mean it. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It really showcases also, I'm sorry I'm going on a rant. It really showcases a huge problem with Elden Ring. They haven't really... It feels like they haven't really tested everything, especially in terms of damage. Because if you go like 50 big and you're having a decent enough armor or even a heavy armor, you shouldn't get one shot by a grab you can't barely see. Right? Rant over. I won't rank this guy. Doesn't deserve to be a boss. Destroys the later boss. Morgoth the Omen King, Margit the Fell Omen. I will rank this. Morgoth the Omen King I actually feel is worse. Let's see, he's better than these for sure. Let's see. Oh, Demon King. Yeah, probably around here somewhere. Margit though is an A fight. No, you know what? It's an S fight. This is one of the first major obstacles in the entire game if you go the intended route, and holy shit is a tough fight, especially in the beginning before you learned the mechanics of the game, how you can use jump attacks, charge attacks, other things like that to your advantage, or before you've grinded for sure. But the design and the entrance, his voice actor, man, and the location you fight him on with the ability that you can fall down ups it a notch. So it's probably better than these guys. All right. Mog the Omen. Wait, is Mog the... Nah, it's not the Lord of Blood. Then I won't rank this fella. Borealis the Freezing Fog. What? I have to check this. Okay, so this is a dragon. I won't rank it. Commander Niall though. This is the one you fight not in the Consecrated Snowfield, but it's in a snowy area. I know where you fight him, I just don't remember the name of the area. But this is a really good fight. It's a strong A. You know what? You know what? You know what? Strong A. Very memorable, and one of the few bosses that I feel is fair, in a good way. Fire Giant, not a spectacular fight, it's a spectacle. That's the fight. I think it gets into B because I don't really like the mechanics of the fight itself, like you slash its ankles. If Elden Ring would use some of the mechanics from maybe Dragon's Dogma, this would be like up, way above the clouds. But as it stands, it's just a B. The question is where it is, where it lands. Probably around this place. Yeah, that's where it lands, I see. Lich Dragon 40 sucks. There's so many. Granted, this is one of the better dragon fights. I'm not sure about this because I don't remember it that well, but I remember it being one of the better ones. That said, I can't really rank it as a. Maybe it's like a C. I think it's a C. Like, the music is amazing, that I remember. Yeah, okay. I'm thinking. There it is. Godskin Duo. I beat this solo, by the way. I beat this solo on my first playthrough. I really didn't like this fight. This is worse. This is like a D. It felt really unimaginative. That's the correct word to describe the fight. It suffers from the same fate as Valiant Gargoyles, pretty much. But it's still kind of fun. No, that's where it stays D. This clergyman, Malekith. Oh, are these considered the same? Alright, they are considered the same. This is also one of these. Although I don't like the camera in this fight, I will say. The camera in this fight ruins slightly. Still a very fun experience. Question is... I think it won't go any higher than this. Yeah, okay. Okay, wait. That's where it stays. Dragonlord plus Sidusaks. This is a nice fight. This is a nice fight, for sure. The question is, how good is it? I think it's like here or something. No, it's better than Storm King, I think. It's very atmospheric. It's very cinematic. And it's difficult. Gideon of Nier, the all-knowing. Can't really consider him a boss, but he is a boss, so I guess we'll rank him. It's a C. Unimaginative, again. But I like the lore of the guy. Okay, he's an interesting character in the game. That I will say. No, that's where I guess. Huaralu, Godfrey. Damn, I struggle at Huaralu. Godfrey is a really fun experience. Huaralu, not entirely quite as much. I still think it's considered a B fight. Or even A. Yeah, an A. Morg, Lord of Blood. You will probably hate me for this. I'm well prepared. I'm well prepared. Okay? I'll explain it, okay? Morg is not a bad fight, but the faults it has is if you don't know about it, the boss has unavoidable damage. Bosses shouldn't have unavoidable damage, except a few rare occasions like Smelter Demon from the second game. Second, I feel like it's very tough to follow this boss. It's very jittery, and if you don't have a summon or something, if you play this boss solo, it's very tough to actually win. So one of the less fun experiences from my playthrough, and if I would play the game again and I didn't want the particular things he drops, for example, I would just skip the boss. That's me being insanely honest. Great Wyrm Theodorix. Is this one of those lava fellas? Still, there are worse enemies in the game. It gets a D. I think it's better than Decaying Xikes, or so, however you pronounce it. Probably better than these guys. That's where it belongs, I think. Loretta, Knight of the Hailing Tree. This is the fight. Yeah, I won't rank this because it's the same fight. But this is the same fight, but way better. They shouldn't have had this. They shouldn't have had it. Loretta is an S+ fight. I know. I'm a controversial son of a B, but it is. I can't stop me. I think it is. It's the most fun fight perhaps I had in the entire game. There, I said it. So I feel like it's a fair fight. I like the design, the difficulty, pretty much everything. Leonine Misbegotten is just a regular enemy. No. Melania. Boy. We'll wait with Melania. I think we'll wait for her until the end. We'll save her till the end. Cemetery Shade. I won't rank. Let's see. Ancient Dragon Lancias. I won't rank because I don't really remember it. Magma Warrior. I have already ranked one. Erdtree Avatar. Wait for that. Garden Golem. Grey Warden Duelist. Ah, it's one of those. I won't rank it. Erdtree Burial Watchdog. Oh, that's one of those, and that's one. Okay, let's see. We'll wait for this. Cleanrot Knight. Nope. Soldier of Godric, I will rank. Don't worry. Knights Cavalry, I will probably rank those as well. Esgar, Priest of Blood. God, there are so many bosses I don't even remember fighting. So Garden Golem shouldn't be considered a boss. It's just a mini boss or something. And same with Esgar. Like, what? Onyx Lord, same with this fella. Shouldn't be a boss. Oh, this is such a shame because I remember fighting Darwell, and I actually thought he was a unique boss. And I was so hyped because it felt like fighting a boss. So I will rank this guy, but I will say it was disappointing when I found out that it wasn't really a boss. A unique boss. But as a standalone, I think it still deserves a B. I kind of liked it. Yeah, I liked it. Right, we will say Necromancer Garrus, like Misbegotten Crusader. Okay, that's a duo fight probably. Shouldn't rank that. Crucible Knight duo, maybe I'll rank that. Bolts Carrion Knight. Black Knife Assassin. Black Knife Ringleader. Adam Thief of Fire. This is what I mean. There's so many bosses that I really don't even consider them bosses. Miranda the Blighted Bloom, that's not a boss. It is a boss in the game, but it's not a boss. Shouldn't be a boss. Kinder of Rot Duo, nope. Let's see, Killer Miranda. Oh, right, nope. Perfumer Misbegotten, nope. Abductor Virgins, nope. See, Wormface. Oh, it's one of those. Maybe. Also, it's Tree Spirit. Crucible Knight Siluria. Demi-Human Chief Duo. Nope. Or maybe. Here we have Putrid Crystallian Duo. Trio. That's why I'll put these two here. And wait for the trio. Let's see. Magma Warrior. Nope. Godfrey the Grafted. I hated this. It so destroyed the ecstasy I felt when fighting Godric. That's what I'm going to leave it at. That right bird. Nope. Although I will rank that bird. Black Blade, Kindred, Flying Dragon. No, alltså. Can't hear of some more. No, what? Scaly Misbegotten. Misbegotten. I mean, what the hell happened? Stone Digger Troll, maybe. Draconic Tree Sentinel. Tree Sentinel Duo. What? Putrid Greywater. Give me a sec again. There, I've checked some, and it's very hard to actually remember all of these. Demi-Human Chief Duo. Right, it's those. I won't rank that. Ulcerated Tree Spirit, come on. Do we have other Tree Burial Watchdog? Maybe. Ah, it's those. Okay. I'll try to rank some of these, most of these. Black Knife Assassin I won't rank, because there are just four of them. Do we have Godskin Apostle ×2? Do we have another of these? Clean Rot Knight Duo? Nope. Fell Twins. False Carrion Knight? Nope. I'm looking over all of these and I'm pondering who deserves to be ranked. Which ones deserve to be ranked? Tree Avatar. Blackblade. I won't rank this one. Blackblade Kindred. Commander O'Neill. Won't rank this either. Even though I thought this was unique bosses first, it wasn't. Obviously. Which kind of disappointed me. But then again, the other version of him you fight later, Commander O'Neill, he is actually the better version, so I will forgive it for that. He's the Pharmasula. That's just an enemy. Most of these are enemies, that's the problem. Royal Revenant, that's an enemy. Kinda removed most of these. Wormface. I know what type of enemy that is, but that is an enemy. Crucible Knight, Siluria. Roundtable Knight. Okay, we go backwards then. Patches. That's not a boss. It wasn't even hard, you just whack him a bit and becomes a merchant, and then he tries to trick you again, and if he does you can come back and be angry at him. Stone Digger Troll. I actually think these are quite... they feel unique. I think they're spread out. So one I think you find in the first area, maybe. Do you find them in the first? Or is it in Liurna? So they're kind of spread out. And I think it's fine to have them spread out. And it makes sense with the Stone Digger Troll. It's not really hard, but I've definitely died to them. Me and the buddy started playing through Elden Ring recently with the multiplayer mod. And we got crushed, kinda. I think, yeah, better than Nika, for sure. And Guardian Dragon. Okay, then we have Draconic Tree Sentinel. I think this is the one that rides on a horse. They can cast lightning at you. I think it is. Yeah, it is. See, this is the thing that I think is so very hard to rank, because I think this is forgettable. It's like a D. It's no better, barely better than these fellas. Okay, it's better than... actually, it isn't better than Celestial. Nope. Tree Sentinel Duo. This is just a bad one. I know they guard the gates, and I know it kind of makes sense. But holy shit. It's not a good one. Putrid Grey Warden Duelist. Nope. Spirit Color Snail Godskin. Nope. Falling Star Beast. Is this the only one? Falling Star Beast ×2. Yeah, we'll put it there. Can't even fucking see what it says. Full-grown Falling Star Beast. Okay. But where do you find it? I kinda like this one. I'm not gonna lie. I think it has a neat design, and they shouldn't have used it in other places. Then it could have been a really unique, memorable experience. But alas, that is not the case. But I'll give it a C nonetheless. I think it's kinda okay. Okay, there we go. Then we have Putrid Crystallian Trio. Oh boy, and the reason I want to rank this is because I I will put these crystallians into one, but just this, the trio fight, put me in such a foul mood and really kind of started my annoyance with the game's design, or the design behind some of the bosses and the game's mechanics, how it worked. Because the trio isn't fair, and you can't convince me otherwise. I beat it solo, I had no summons, what I remember. I might be misremembering. Still, it's not a good memory I have. And that's why I'll put these into E. A low. Crucible Knight Siluria, this is the one you fight at the bottom, right? It's not in Noxtella, but it's... I know, you fight it around a tree. I think that's the one. And this is actually semi-unique, so I will probably rank it. I think it's a nice fight. Kinda gets a D though. It's more fun than these fellas. Yep. Demon of Song, let's see. Yeah, that could be the place. Ulcerated Tree Spirit. Really? Spirit Color Snail Crucible? Freaking come on. I hate these. They aren't even bosses, man. Crucible Knight. Is this the regular one then? Crucible Knight. Okay. That's the one with a sword and shield then. What does it say? ×2? Oh boy, there are a lot more of these in the game. If I didn't put them away somewhere. They are freaking everywhere, right? No, they might have missed something when doing this list, I don't know. But they are freaking everywhere, these fellas. Ugh. And I like the first fight, perhaps even the second one. But this is one of the worst fights in the entire game. And I hated them at the end. I really hated them like this much. Just because of how reused these enemies and bosses were. I consider every instance of the enemy might not be an official boss, but every instance annoyed me more and more and more and more. Round Table Knight Bike, that's a good invasion. One of the better ones in the game if I remember it correctly. And actually a decent challenge. I might put him into C. Yeah, I might put him, even though I don't consider it a boss. But it's kind of mini-boss invasion, and now it's on the list. I kind of need to rank it, despite not ranking all of these. Still. Let's see. Kind of like him more than Gideon. Somewhere around these parts. Gideon might be worse than Chandra, actually. Bell-bearing Hunter, I mean... Okay, that's just a reuse. Grafted Scion, gimme. Ah, it's that one. This I like. This I like. One of the more interesting enemies you can face. And I think the amount that they reused it was fair. I think they only reused it like once. I think so. I kind of like this. I will probably give it a B or A. I'll give it a B. But how night? It's more fun than that. Barely. Godskin Apostle. Okay, so hear me out. The reason I like this is the first one I thought actually was the one. It was the one in Dragon Barrow, in the tower. And it actually felt so freaking cool to stumble upon this tower by myself. I went in as blind as I could. and I thought like, hey, maybe I should be able to like go inside the tower somehow. And through sheer effort and perseverance, I managed to find a way in. And after many deaths and everything, I managed to find my way to the boss. And keep in mind, I was severely underleveled at this point. I hadn't leveled at all what I needed to level. I learned the boss's movements, the moves. I learned how to dodge. I gained a little bit of patience. And I beat the boss. And it felt amazing. And finding the weapon afterwards felt amazing. And that's why it's such a shame that it was reused later on too. I know why. It makes sense that they reused these fellas. Like, what if they didn't? If there were only one of these, and it was down in the tower, furthest down in the tower, I would have put this into S. And I'm being entirely serious when I say that. Now I'm still gonna put it into A. I'm serious. But that's only because of the fight against the one down below. Fell Twins, nope. Crucible Knight Duo. I fought this solo too, I think. Decent fight. It was mainly about patience, so I won't rank it. Is there anything else I don't want to rank? Like the Black Knife Ringleader, it's just another enemy, man. Done Thief Fire, kinda unique. I think we'll have to put him into like D. It's barely good, but still. Earthtree Burial, a Watchdog Duo. Why I've kept this here is because it encapsulates both the versions of this enemy into one fight, and that's I can rank them both at the same time. I will say though, it kind of barely deserves a D. I think it has some cool design. It has a cool design. But like it's D. Red Wolf of the Champions. Is this the same wolf? Red Wolf Rhode. No, I won't rank this down. 3 Sentinel. This is the first one, right? I don't consider it a boss, so I won't rank it. I mean, this is the issue. There are so many similar bosses and enemies. I don't really know. Deathbird, I can rank this because I know, let's say all the Deathbirds and similar enemies are put into one basket. Even though it's technically not a boss, it's a mini boss or something. Like it's still a D, I think. Maybe around here somewhere. Crucible Knight, one of the funniest fights I had on my first playthrough, until again I realized that, oh my, these enemies are freaking everywhere. As a standalone it would have been a B, but as it turns out it's like a D again, or maybe a C. This is a fun version to fight. Yep, there we go. That seems fair. Sanguine Noble, I don't remember this. I think it has something to do with blood, and I think it was a rapier or something as a weapon, so I won't rank it. Knights Cavalry, I mean, they are okay. There are many different versions of it. I don't really consider them bosses. The design is cool, like I said, but there are so many uses of them, I don't think it goes higher than this. Barely a D. Soldier of Godric. It's getting now. I'm just kidding. Get this plus. It's an F. I'm sorry. I know all the memes. Ah, you put him into S plus because it's one of the best. Yeah, okay, fine. It's barely a boss though. Can't be considered a boss. Maybe. Okay, better than Dragon God at least. Earthtree Avatar. This is all of them in one ranking. It's pretty much the Stray Demon. E. And I think it's better than Tibia Marina and a Stray Demon. Puts luck there. That feels fine. Element of the Briar. Now these remaining ones are actually kind of better ones. I kind of liked Element. I like the Shaded Castle. That's what it's called, right? Hopefully I'm not wrong. Hold on, let me up the brightness on my camera a bit, because holy fuck. It's kind of getting dark outside. There we go. A bit better. Element of the Briar is a fair fight. I feel like you fight that boss on almost equal footing. There is no shenanigans of the kind except the being able to control the blade, which is a cool feature. I was surprised that you could do the same when you got the blade, so I will put this into B, actually. I really like that fight. You know what, I'll drag this down and I'll drag this up. Actually, I like it better than Pursuer. Why did I put Fire Giant so high? Nope. Should put this higher, to be honest. This feels better though. Yep. Renala of the Full Moon. Kinda gimmicky fight at the start of it. Then when you actually get into the second phase, it becomes a real fight, which I like. I feel like, for the most part, it's a fun fight. I don't really like her summons. It feels like they could have done something else. They could have had her unique summons of some kind, or not just images of other bosses or enemies. It kinda took away from it. Still, as a whole, I couldn't in good conscience rank this lower than B. Now the question is, I probably liked it more than these fellas. There we go. That feels fine. Red Wolf of Rhode is a decent fight, obviously very reminiscent of Sip, with a few additional mechanics and adjustments. Still, it's not really a memorable fight. I would probably put this into C. It's better than these fellas. Okay. Godric the Grafted, Radagon, Elden Beast. Okay, Godric the Grafted. I know this might be kind of controversial. Let's see what I put. But I still think it's an A. And I think it's an A because this is one of the most fun fights in the game, and it appears so very early on. Same with Margit. One of the most fun fights in the entire game. Very early on. It feels like the further you go into Elden Ring, the more tedious and annoying the boss becomes. Sorry? Godric the Grafted. Probably. Oof, oh, you'll hate me for this. That feels nice. I like him more than Malekith and Beast Clergyman, because this is a fun fight. It's badass. The design of the boss, Godric, is really cool. One of the highlights. And now we're down to 2, so let me take a sip before finishing this off. If you come this far, I'm very thankful. So, Radagon, Elden Beast. If we could separate these two, okay? I would probably put Radagon at S. I remember I went in blind on the final boss. So stepping into that arena and like finding him as he was. He lifts his hammer, the music starts. There's few things in Elden Ring that beats that. Very impressive. But Elden Beast is one of the worst. The music, I will give it, is fantastic. And so is the location. The Elden Beast feels very random. And again, I know the memes about the horse, but yeah, they should have allowed you to use the horse at least. Holy shit. So I guess I have to rank these both as 1, but as it stands I would give an S to Rhode. And Elden Beast I would probably give like a D or even E for. So that's why it kind of gets into C. High C probably. As it's both of them. It's somewhere around these parts. There we go. So keep that in mind that it's for both of them, but separately. An S for Rhode, like a DE for the Elden Beast. Now, I beat Malenia solo. I beat her once. I will soon beat her twice, I think, with my magic build. But I beat her once with my faith/strength build. And it wasn't a good time. The issue I had was that a game shouldn't almost force you to look up a boss in order to know how to dodge an attack. I tried so many things to dodge or survive her attack, the waterfowl dance obviously, and none of them worked. If you took a large ass shield and used the reinforce weapon art, what is it called, Ash of War? It's not called reinforce, but something along the lines. You still could block the attack barely if you had like max stamina. The issue though is that she would heal herself on those blocks. Okay, but why? See, this is an overloaded enemy. They really put everything on her that she shouldn't have. I could agree that she could have had some healing on some of her attacks, but not all of them. And not when you block them. It doesn't make any sense. Plus it kind of invalidates shield builds. Up to this point in the game, a shield build would be very decent. Even good at sometimes. Against Malenia, congratulations, you get punished for playing like it. The idea, the thought process behind making this boss, it's too much. I don't understand it. Sigh. Alright, so now that I've ranted a bit, I love the design. And the location you fight her in, it's beautiful. But for all God's sake, like, you shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't need to look up how to dodge one attack in order to survive her. That's not just, that shouldn't be the case. And so I feel like it's a badly designed boss. Unfortunately, either fine-tune the dance or remove it entirely, to be honest. No, don't remove it, fine-tune it. Fine-tune it. Don't put healing on all of her attacks, and then, maybe then, she could have been an okay fight. She could have been a fun fight. One of the best. As it is, she gets a B. That's my final ranking. Why? Well, I listed you several reasons why. And for me, you should still have fun while playing games. At some point. When I won over Malenia, I think it took me around 2 hours. I didn't really feel like, I felt satisfied, victorious. I felt really good at the game. But I didn't feel this joy that I felt when I beat Artorias, or the Demon Prince, or the True Corrupted Monk, or Ishin. Nothing near it. Thank you so much for watching. This is my list. You can pause to look in detail. But hopefully, and if you followed me this far, if you watched the video to this point, like, thank you very much. Hearing me ramble for over 2.5 hours at the point of recording. Can barely believe it. And this is from C down. Probably don't see all of it due to my camera. Hold on. There we go. I'll turn it off for a bit. So let's see. This is all of them that I didn't rank, and as I said, you can post a video if you really want to look into detail. This is from C to F, and this is from S plus to B. Sorry. That's my final ranking. Let's go, bam, over to this. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know down in the comments below if you don't really agree with me. I don't think you do, and point out why. If you want to, that would be really cool, so we can start a discussion around all the bosses. I actually got this idea from another YouTuber that wanted to borrow my footage for a video, so I let him, and I'm assuming it's him, so I let him borrow it, and he made a killer video. Hold on. Yeah, Since Then is the YouTuber. Made a video ranking every Souls boss except Elden Ring though. So it's a really good video and you should check it out. If I remember it, I'll link it down in the description below. So please check that out as well. Thank you for the idea, and it's a really good video if you're watching this. And thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, comment down below, don't you forget it. And leave a like if you liked, or leave a dislike if you didn't like it. Until next time. See you and have a good one.